Hi there, Year 7s. I hope you're all well. Welcome to your first lesson on decimals. I'm just going to fire up the PowerPoint now. It's also on the Google Classroom if you want to work through the PowerPoint at a later date without watching the video again. So just bear with me while I screen share. Okay, so that slide will be populated with the link to this video at the end. So we're going to be looking at two chapters today. We're going to be doing just some basic recap work on place values, ordering and rounding of decimal numbers. You should be all familiar with those from primary school days. And also we're going to be looking at addition and subtraction of decimals. Okay, so you know the score by now, but just to reiterate, you are completing all of your work in your classwork book. You're copying down all the key information, and especially the videos that you're going to watch shortly. You're going to copy down everything exactly as I've written it down so that you've got some comprehensive resources in your books. You're going to complete the independent work. You're going to mark and correct it using a green pen. And then at the end of the lesson, you're going to photograph your work and you're going to upload it onto Google Classroom. You need to do that by 11:15 for the morning lesson and 14:30 if you are on an afternoon lesson, 2:30 p.m. You will also be given some Hegarty maths videos. There are 3 videos from this lesson, and they will all be required for you to complete either during the lesson if you have time, if not as homework. Right, so you've got a quick 6-minute starter coming up. Off you go. Just whilst you're working through these questions, I want you to think really, really carefully of what it says. Okay, you're not finding 4/5 of 32. You are told that 4/5 of 32, 4/5 of a number is 32. You need to find the whole number. Okay, so you're given a fraction of the number, a fraction of it is 32. What's the whole number? Perhaps drawing a bar model might help you with this question. Okay, time's up. Let's take a look at the answers. Remember that 4/5 of the number is 32, therefore the whole number itself. Well, maybe before I reveal the answer, if 4/5 of a number is 32, then 1/5 of the number would be 32 divided by 4. Maybe that helps you with the solution. If you want to pause it and have another go, you can. Otherwise, let's take a look. So if 4/5 of the number is 32, and that's where the bar modeling is really handy. Here's the whole number. Here's 4/5 of it. 4/5 of it is 32. Therefore, the whole of the number must be 40. 5 lots of 8, which gives us 40. Let's look at the second one. If 2/3 of a number is 34, that's 2/3 of the number, then you've got 17 here and 17 here and 17 here. So the whole number must be 51. Finally, if we look at the last one, okay, here's my bar model. Okay, it's split into 7. Obviously, they should be 7 equal parts. Okay, 6 of them make up 762. So 762 divided by 6 gives me 127 in each of these 6 bits. So now I need to multiply 127 by 7 to give me the total answer, or add on 127 to 762 to give me my answer of 889. Right, you're going to watch a video now. This is your decimal introduction. Some of it will be a recap of what you did in primary school, but I want you to copy it all down in your book so you've got absolutely brilliant notes to refer back to should you ever need to. And I'm just going to fire that up for you now. I wonder if you can hear that. There's clearly fireworks going on in the background. Right, let's get started. Hi there. In today's lesson, we're going to be introducing decimals, and we're going to be looking at addition and subtraction of decimals. So let's just quickly start with what is a decimal. Let's get a definition down in our books to start with. A decimal. Well, it's a way of writing a number that is not a whole number. If you like, it's a number that is an in-between number. So for example, 2.5 or 2.5 as a decimal is in between 2 and 3. So let's get that written down as a key point in our books. A decimal is a way of writing a number that is not whole. It is a number that is in between two whole numbers. And so they get, it's a number that is in between two whole numbers, apologies, in between two whole numbers, okay? For example, 10.5 is in between 10 and 11, okay? First key point of the day. I am going to use my highlighter pen just to make that all clear in my book. A decimal is a way of writing a number that is not whole. It is a number that is in between two whole numbers. And there's your example. For example, 10.5 is in between 10 and 11. Okay, so we use a decimal point. Let's get that written down as well. A decimal point separates the whole Okay, let's read that. A decimal point separates the whole number part from the part less than 1. Let's do another example. For example, let's look at the number 123.456. Okay, 123 is the whole number part. We've got our decimal points in between. And then we've got 456, which is the part that is less than 1. Okay, the whole number part 123, the decimal point, and the part less than 1. All fairly straightforward. So let's move on. Let's quickly look at place value. Okay, so let's look at a number. Let's use the same number, why not? 123, yep, 0.456. Let me draw this out before you copy it down so you can see what I'm doing. So I want to label the columns for my number. So I've got hundreds, I've got tens, I've got ones, I've got tenths, I've got hundredths, and I've got thousands. Okay, I've got tenths, which I can also write as 1/10. I've got hundredths I can write as 1/100, and thousands that I can write as 1/1000. Let's just neaten that up a little bit. So let's make sure that goes through there. Okay. All right, so we've got hundreds, tens, and ones, tenths, hundredths, and 1/1000. thousandths. Right, I just want to mention expanded form here. Again, let's stick with the same number, 123 plus 0.456. Just as a matter of interest, when we say this number, we say 123.456. We do not say 123.456. So we say all of these numbers individually. So in expanded form, I've got 1 in the hundreds columns, as we know from our place value table. So I've got 100. I've got 2 in my tens column, so I've got 20. I've got 3 in my ones column, so that's just plus 3. I've then got 4 in my tenths column, so I'm adding 4 tenths. I've got 5 in my hundredths column, so I'm adding 5 hundredths. Finally, I have the number 6 in my thousandths column, so I'm adding 6 thousandths. That's how we write it in expanded form. And then just looking at the value of the digits, Right, let's use a different number now, just mix it up a little bit. Make sure you can still see what we're doing. Okay, so let's just use the number 7.352. Doesn't matter, make up any number that we want. If I asked you, for example, what the value of the 5 was, the value of the 5 is 5 in the hundredths column. The number 5, which is in the hundredths column, so we have 5 hundredths. Similarly, if I asked you for the value of the 2, it would be 2, but in the thousandths column. Hopefully you can see that just squashed on the bottom there. All right, let's move on to comparing decimals and ordering them. So let's put a new little subheading up here of ordering decimals. Okay, now if you're asked to order decimals, you'll be asked to order them from smallest to largest, or you might be asked to order them in ascending or descending order. So let's just put a little note there so that we know what those terms mean. So ascending means smallest to largest, and descending means largest to smallest. So imagine if you were going on a walk up a mountain, ascending would mean going up the mountain, and descending would mean coming back down the mountain at the end. So I'm just going to put that in one of my little learning bubbles, just as a little reminder in case we've forgotten. Okay, so I'm going to order these decimals in ascending order. Okay, so I'm just going to write in ascending order. And the 4 numbers I've chosen, I've got 0.417, I've got negative 0.4, I've got 1.1, and I've got a negative 1.5. Now, my suggestion for a question like this is to draw yourself a quick number line. It doesn't have to be particularly accurate or to scale, but you just want something so you can visualize what we're looking at. So as I say, it's just a quick sketch. I mean, I'm going to try and make it reasonably accurate, but as I say, it is just representative. Here's my number line then. And if I put my numbers on the number line, it's going to help me establish what the correct order is. So let's see, I've got 0.417 here. That's just a little bit less than a half. So I'm going to put that there. I've got a negative 0.4. So that's going to go approximately there. I've got a 1.1. 1.1 can go there. And then finally, negative 1.5. So that is going to be down here, negative 1.5. Now, the advantage of using a number line is twofold. Firstly, it helps you see that this number, just because it's got more digits in it, isn't larger than this number. Remember, when we're comparing decimals, we always want to work from left to right and look at the column furthest to the left first, because that's the largest part of the number. So the 0 here is clearly less than the 1 here. The other advantage of using a number line is it really, really helps us with negative numbers. We know that the further away we are from 0 to the left, the smaller the number. The further away from 0 we are to the right, the greater the number. So that helps us see that negative 1.5 is smaller than negative 0.4. So now it's fairly straightforward to put them in order. I've got negative 1.5, negative 0.4, positive 0.417, and finally positive 1.1. Okay, I don't have to use a number line. There is another way of doing it. I could just write them out using a place value table. I'll use a different example for this. So let's just call that number 1. Let's do a different example here. Say I was given, okay, so I'm going to compare 12.345 and 12.36. Now, using a place value table and lining them up really neatly, making sure that my decimal points are in line. Here's my 12.345. I've got 12.36. And then again, we work from left to right, and we keep going until we see that in the 100ths column, 4 is less than 6. So that allows me to see that 12.345 is smaller than 12.36. So I can now write that as 12.345 is less than 12.36. And indeed, I could write it the other way around. I could say that 12.36 is greater than 12.345. So just another quick reminder here to remember that the less than sign looks like this, the greater than sign looks like that. And you might have learned it as crocodiles, they always beat the bigger number. Right, let's keep moving on. Let's have a quick look at rounding. Okay. All right, we're going to round. At this stage, we're just going to round to the nearest integer. We're going to round to the nearest integer. If we need a little bit of a reminder, integer means whole number. Okay, integer means whole number. And remember that it could be a positive number like 3. It could be a negative number, maybe negative 2. It can also be 0. Okay, so just a key point there. Integer means a whole number. So we're going to round to the nearest whole number. And you might have come across a little saying. There's loads of different ways of remembering them. This is the one that my daughter was taught when she was at primary school. 5 or more, add 1 more. 4 or less, leave to rest. Okay, so let's do a couple of quick examples here. We're going to round to the nearest whole number, 73.4. We only, because we're rounding to the nearest whole number, we only need to look at what is in the tenths column. If there were numbers here, I could just ignore them. So 4 or less, leave to rest. That is going to round to 73. Next example. If I had 73.6, 5 or more, add 1 more. That's going to round up to 74. Now, if I had 73.5, which is exactly halfway between 73 and 74, we need to use our convention. And our convention states that for 5, we round up. So we round to 74. Finally, let's just look at one last one, 73.45. Now, we said that we only need to look at what's happening in the tenths column, which is a 4. Therefore, I know that this is going to round down to 73. The reason I've included this one is sometimes people use that 5 to round the 4 to a 5, and then they say, well, 73.5 rounds to 74. Okay, you don't want to do that. You only look at what's happening in the tenths column, and that tells you that you do not need to round the 73 up to 74. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can use a number line again. It doesn't need to be drawn to scale. It doesn't have to start at 0. My number line is going to start at 73 and go to 74. And approximately in the middle, which I'm guessing is about here, I'm going to put 73.5. Now, visually, that's a really helpful way of seeing that 73.4 is here. So it's going to go down to 73. 73.6 is somewhere here. It's going to go up to 74. We're told that 73.5, the convention is to round to 74. And then again, you can't really see it, but if I squashed in here a little 73.45, you would see that it's still less than 73.5 and therefore rounds down to 73. So always remember that a number line is there to help you. It takes 2 seconds to sketch it out if you're struggling with working out which way it goes. We're now going to have a quick look at addition and subtraction of decimals. So we're going to... Okay. So we're going to leave that there, and I'm going to go back to the PowerPoint slide. You're going to do some work on that, and we'll come on to addition and subtraction later in the lesson. Okay. 2 quick questions and 2 minutes. Off you go. Okay, your time's up. Pause it if you need a little bit more time. Otherwise, I'm going to reveal the answer. Okay, so we have 9 ones, 8 tenths, 7 hundredths, and 6 thousandths for the first one, and for the second one, 0.005023. We have 5 thousandths, 2 over 100,000, and 3 over 1 million. Please mark and correct your work using your green pens. And as if I really need to say this, please make sure you are writing the question as well as the answer. Thank you. Okay, 2 more minutes. Next question. Okay, time's up. Let's take a look. So we have 3 over 100 plus 4 over 1,000 plus 7 over 10,000 for the first one, and for part B, 6 plus 2 tenths plus, remember, 0 over 100 and 0 over 1,000. You do not need to include those if you don't want to, plus 1 over 10,000. Again, 0 over 100,000. You can leave that out if you wish, and 8 over 1 million. Mark and correct your work as usual. Okay. There you go. You have six quick questions and 2 minutes. Off you go. Okay, your time is up. Again, you can always pause if you need more time. Let's go through the answers. So we have 300, 3,000, 3/10, 3/1000, 300,000, and finally 3/100. Marking and correcting your work as usual. Okay, next question, 3 minutes, off you go. Okay, time's up. Let's take a look at the answers. 6.3, 6.325, and 6.41, 2.47, 2.381, and 2.38. Always make sure you read the question, ascending order and descending order. 3 more. Okay, let's take a look at the answers. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so we've got 0.121 is less than 0.122. The next one is greater than. The next one is greater than. And you can see what I say about a number line doesn't need to take you ages. It doesn't need to be accurate, but just sketching it out really quickly makes it clear to see that negative 1.4 is closer to 0, and therefore it is a larger number than negative 1.41. Okay, again here, 0.0712, those digits are all the same. So it's this 1 here that we are comparing against the 7. And then there's a final negative number there to finish us off. So mark and correct your work as necessary. And another 3 minutes. Some music. Let's look at the answers. Okay, so 1A, we have 76.45 rounds to 76 kilograms. Part B, negative 1.823. Again, you can see here, doesn't have to be accurate, just a quick sketch of a number line helps you see that it would round to -2. Question 2A rounds up to 41 centimeters. and 2b rounds from negative 3.298 rounds to negative 3. Again, use a number line if it's going to help you. Right, super quick, 2 minutes. I'm not going to do the timer for this. Let's just have a go. 2 minutes, go. Okay, time's up. Okay, so 13, 10, negative 2, negative 1, 10, and 10. Now, just in case you've not seen these before, it's like a squiggly equal sign, and it means approximately equal to. Okay, 4 minutes. Time starts now. And the answers, green pen in hand. Okay, I will leave you to go through those answers yourself. So you just need to pause it and mark and correct your work as necessary. Right, you have 2 Hegety Maths videos to complete. They're pretty straightforward, I have to say, pretty basic at this stage. I'm sure you will absolutely whiz through them, and you'll probably get 100% first time round. But if you don't, remember, I want you to attempt it at least 3 times to get that 100%, please. So you can either complete the videos now, pause this video, not videos, sorry, that should say quiz. I will correct it on the future slides. Okay, so you want to complete the quizzes now, or you can continue with this lesson and then do them at the end or as homework. You're going to take a break. I want you to have between 15 to 30 minutes break, because these are really long lessons, and I expect you to be working for a total of 2 hours, but I want you to have up to a 30-minute break. At a time of your choosing, you can pause the video and have the break when you want. I'm now going to move on to the second half of today's lesson. Okay, we're going to be looking at addition and subtraction of decimals. I've got no starter here because I want to go straight in with the second part of the video. New subheading A. Okay, now luckily, this is fairly straightforward. We use the column method exactly the same as if we were doing whole number or integer addition and subtraction. Okay, so we're going to use the column method. And the only thing really that we need to remember with this is to line up your decimal points. So remember to line up the decimal points. That is the most important thing to remember when adding and subtracting decimals. So let's do a couple of examples now. We're going to start with 1.357 and we're going to add 3.7. We're going to write it again as the column method, 1.357, and we're adding 3.7. You can see that your decimal points are hopefully perfectly lined up. But also look that we've got this number is to 3 decimal places and this one is only to 1 decimal place. So I'm going to put in some zeros here called placeholders, just to make sure that we don't accidentally add up the wrong columns. So now we know that 7 plus 0 is 7, 5 plus 0 is 5, 3 plus 7 is 10, carry the 1, 1 plus 3 plus 1 gives me 5. So we've got 5.057 for our first answer. Let's look at another one. This time we've got a subtraction calculation. We've got 6 and we're going to subtract 3.186. Again, we're going to write it out using the column method and we're going to put in a load of placeholders because we know that we're subtracting a number that is to 3 decimal places. All right, so we're lining up as we go. Right, so it's a little bit trickier here because we've got to borrow from the 6 and then carry it all the way across. So that gives me 10 here, which I'm going to reduce to 9 to have 10 here. I'm going to reduce to 9 and I've got 10 here. 10 subtract 6 gives me 4. 9 subtract 8 is 1. 9 subtract 1 is 8. carry my decimal point down, making sure it's perfectly lined up again. 5 subtract 3 gives me 2. Now this is where you guys get to check your own answer. So you don't need a teacher checking it for you. You can check using addition. Okay, so if I add back together 3.186 plus 2.814, then hopefully I'm going to get the number that I started with. Let's just double check. 6 plus 4 is 10. 9 plus 1 plus 1 is 10. 8 plus 1 plus 1. 1 plus 8 plus 1 is also 10. Carry my decimal point down. 3 plus 2 plus 1 gives me 6. You don't need me, because you can see that you've got the correct answer. I'm not sure why that says 1 and that says 6, so we'll just ignore that. It's obviously been a long day. Let's change that to 2. Right. Okay, just a couple more. Question 3. I've got 0.73. We're adding 9.82 and we're subtracting 3.76. Remember, with our order of operations, addition and subtraction are of equal importance, so we work from left to right. So we're going to do the addition bit first. 0.73 plus 9.82. Same thing, column method, nice and straightforward. 5, 5, carry the 1, 10. I've now got 10.55, and I'm now going to subtract my 3.76. Let's have a look and see what happens here. I need to borrow from the 5. So 15 subtract 6 is 9. I now need to borrow from the 10. 14 subtract 7 is 7. And 9 subtract 3 is 6. So my answer is 6.79. Again, you can check using addition if you wish. Finally, question 4. I've got 21.63, subtract 4.33, add 6.12. It's very similar to question 3, but the reason I've kept it in is that often with a question like this, particularly if people have been taught BIDMAS, they will do the addition calculation before the subtraction calculation. That is not correct. You're going to get the wrong answer if you do that. So we need to remember addition and subtraction are of equal importance. So we work from left to right. So this is your order of operations. Remember, addition and subtraction are of equal importance. So we work from left to right. I didn't even use a ruler then, did I? I'll be telling myself off later. Right, okay, so we're going to do the subtraction first. So we've got 21.63. I'm subtracting 4.33. Let's work that out. 3 subtract 3 is 0. 6 subtract 3 is 3. Okay, I'm going to borrow from there. 11 subtract 4 is 7. I've got 7. 17.30. I'm now going to take my 17.30. I'm going to add my 6.12. Nearly there. 0 plus 2 is 2. 3 plus 1 is 4. Carry my decimal point down nice and neatly. 7 plus 6 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And we get the answer of 23.14. So that is the conclusion of our addition and subtraction of decimals. The next session we'll be looking at multiplication and then division, and we've got some great, fantastic techniques actually for doing multiplication and division of decimals. So I very much look forward to going through those with you. Thank you. Okay, right, let's go back to our PowerPoint. So you've got loads of work to do now. I've given you 20 minutes because there's quite a lot here to get through. I'm going to put my timer on for you. Right, 20 minutes. Good luck. Let's look at the answers. Okay, I'm just going to leave them there for you to mark your own. So please, if you need more time, pause it, go through with your green pen, mark and make corrections as necessary. And there are the answers for questions 7 through to 10. Oh, you're missing 10B. Apologies for that. Right. Now, you've got 10 minutes for this challenge. You start in the top left-hand corner. You finish in the bottom right-hand corner. You start with 0. And you have to finish with exactly 3.0. So your challenge is to work your way through the maze. You cannot go diagonally. So you've got to work your way through the maze to end up with exactly 3. Your 10-minute challenge, good luck, starts now. Right. How did you get on? Pop in the chat if you've got a solution, or when you photograph your books and submit your work on Google Classroom, put a big highlighter so I can see what solutions you came up with, and let's see if we can get more than one answer to that. So I hope you enjoyed that challenge. Let's just finish off now. So you've got 2 extension questions here. If you have time, they are quite a challenge, but I'd love it if some of you have time to give them a go. So if you've got time, pause it and have a go now, because I am going to put the answers up now. I'm not going to do a 10-minute timer for this. There is your answer to the first question. Hopefully you can read that. It's a little bit difficult to see with the whiteboard. And finally, the rectangle to demonstrate that y equals 3. So because it's a rectangle, you know that 2x plus 6 is the same as 5x subtract y. Here is the equation that you have formed here. And then you use the balancing method, subtracting 2x from both sides to give you 6 equals 3x, subtract 9, add 9 to both sides, and then divide by 3 gives you x equals 5. And then that means that this is 16, this is 16, and thereby you can prove that y must be 3. Okay, hope that's helpful. Right, your very, very last activity is to do quiz 47. Again, you can complete it now, or you can complete it as homework. That's up to you and depends on how much time you have available. So all that remains for me to say is please upload your work, take photos of it and upload it at 11:15 for the morning sessions and 2:30 for the afternoon sessions. And that's it. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson, and I look forward to seeing you at the next lesson, as I say, when we're talking about the multiplication of decimals, and we've got a couple of really nice techniques we can use to make those difficult questions easier. Thank you very much. Take care. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.